Amazing. Good for you guys. Well, welcome. If you've never been to a listening room before, this is more like a house concert than a bar. So you're going to hear every little thing, and that's wonderful. Also, we have 3 restrooms. There's one right here, which you can use if you want to, but during the show you probably don't want to. So through the store on the other side of the wall, there's a restroom in the back of that, and also up the stairs if you want to get your steps in. Tonight we have Milan on sound, Gary on video, we have Christopher behind the bar, and Susan at the door, and we run pretty much on volunteers, so if any of you guys need something to do, feel free to reach out to us. The other thing, you guys are here now, but you may know people who don't want to drive at night anymore, and we're starting afternoon concerts. April 11th and April 18th. We're going to do 2 Thursday afternoons a month. We have a very generous sponsor that's going to pay the bands and still give us a little bit of money on the side. So afternoons from 1 to 2:30. The sliding scale is $5 to $10. If you know anyone that's low income and has a SNAP card, EBT card, they get in free. Also, anyone under 18 gets in free. So if you're not on our mailing list, you probably want to sign up back there so you don't miss any of those shows. Gary's band, Gary Furlow and the Loafers, are going to start out. The second, on the 18th, is going to be Tom May and Donnie Wright. And then I can't remember May. May, one of them is Max and Megan Tucker. Ooh, I can't remember the other one. But anyway, sign up for our newsletter. We're adding stuff all the time. And also, if you have children or grandchildren that are performers, we have a teen open mic the first Wednesday of every month. So make sure they come out. It's a very safe space. We're getting some incredible performers. So enough about that. I don't think I've seen ever this many instruments for 3 people. I think it's about 3.2 per musician, which bodes well for our evening. And you guys all know this band. You know why you're here, but this is the embodiment of Americana. It's not one thing. It's all this wonderful stuff all smushed together. So we're going to have a great time. There's a tip jar up here. And let's welcome Woodlander.
Oh, thank you. And as she said, welcome to Artichoke. We're going to start with a song that is off our latest single, released in 1972. I wrote this as a protest song and against the Vietnam War, and lo and behold, a year later, the Vietnam War ended. So you're welcome. A song called Ashland. Helps not to have a pick in the strings. Here we go. Saw my brother running from the law, set of morals was his fatal flaw. Got a woman and a child his own. Now they call the Ashland jail his home. Outcast and unwanted and living in a world of hate. 50 years before his time and 50 years too late. War's been going on for much too long. People who want it stopped just don't belong. Many men in prison, only crime was trying to save the lives of those who's died. Outcast and unwanted and living in a world of hate. 50 years before his time and 50 years too late. Thank you. Want to know what the single looked like? This was it. And we have several of them here tonight, if you want to take one home with you. Oh, yes. Anybody know what? Everybody here knows what one of those is, right?
That big
You
hole.
all look like you're a similar age to most of us here on stage.
And do you have anything to stick in the middle for that big hole so you can put it on the...
I actually have two of them.
All right. Shall we just do it?
Yes.
I've got me a farm near Chester, brought in a harvest yesterday, and I'm gonna go away for a while. Before the winter rains come, get out into the sun, pick up my mandolin and play for a while.
I'm going, come go with me. We'll take some time and walk along by the sea. I'm going, come go my way. Forget all our worries and we'll live for today.
We'll take the road to Aber, stop by the way and have a meal in the shade of an old poplar tree. Walk by the mustard fields, sheep grazing on the hills. Walk down the winding road in the cool autumn breeze.
I'm going, come go with me. We'll take some time and walk along by the sea. I'm going, come go my way. Forget all our worries and we'll live for today.
We'll stop at a pub in the evening, sing with old friends before leaving, talk of our travels with the folks at the inn. When we've drunk all our lager down, head for the edge of town, sleep until morning when we set out again.
I'm going, come go with me. We'll take some time and walk along by the sea. I'm going, come go my way. Forget all our worries and we'll live for today. I'm going, come go with me. We'll take some time and walk along by the sea. I'm going, come go my way. Forget all our worries and we'll live for today.
I'm going away, what can I say? I've been blown away by you. I've been run through the ringer and dragged through the dust. You're down on the things I do. I'm going back down to Arkansas where I grew up with my mom and pa. Things were good when I worked the land. Gonna find another lady to hold my hand. Going a long ways from you.
Gotta get away, gotta get on away from here. The way that I've been feeling, think it's time I disappear. Gotta get away, babe, I gotta get out and be gone. Find my own way to carry on.
Well, maybe I'll head Savannah way and buy myself a farm. Plant my feet in that Georgia clay and build myself a barn. Maybe I could open me a little store in Tennessee. I don't much care just where I go, baby, just so long as I know going a long ways from you. Gotta get away, gotta get away, gotta get on away from here. The way that I've been feeling, think it's time I disappear. Gotta get away, babe, I gotta get out and be gone. Find my own way to carry on. Gotta get on away from here. The way that I've been feeling, think it's time I disappear. Gotta get away, babe, I gotta get out and be gone. And find my own way to carry on. Find my own way to carry on. Find my own way to carry on. Thank you. So, we play a lot of taverns and lots of taverns over the years. It's really nice to be here because we're going to get away with playing a lot of our originals. And taverns, you know, they want to
Get away with?
Get away with, yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
No, it's the bars where we get away with playing stuff we'd never be caught dead playing here.
I guess you're right. Well, I've been together since I was a teenager, but no.
I'm not sure about that.
Paul and I have been together 49 years, and Carrie's the new guy at 47 years. And speaking of Carrie, this was Carrie did a tour with a fellow named Mick Clark in Europe. He even went behind the Iron Curtain and played in East Germany before the wall fell. This was one of the songs that they did. He was playing honky-tonk piano on it, and it was a New Orleans funk tune, I guess you'd call it. But we turned it into a bluegrass tune. It was written by Mick Clark.
1, 2, 3. Dust on the highway, just trying to keep myself cool. Dust on the highway, well, I'm a traveling fool. Dust on the highway, it's 105 in the shade, and I'm just paying my dues for all the trouble I've made. Some guy tried to cut me down. Some guy tried to cut him down. I'll be seeing him in the next town. You better watch out for yourself. Dust on the highway, I'm just trying to keep myself cool. Dust on the highway, well, I'm a traveling fool. Dust on the highway, it's 105 in the shade, and I'm just paying my dues for all the trouble I've made. Hot beer in a dirty can. Hot beer in a dirty can. Trying to figure out just where I am. You got to keep yourself alive. Dust on the highway, just trying to keep myself cool. Dust on the highway, well, I'm a traveling fool. Dust on the highway, it's 105 in the shade, and I'm just paying my dues for all the trouble I've made. you to smile, you got to keep your sense of humor. Dust on the highway, just trying to keep myself cool. Dust on the highway, well, I'm a traveling fool. Dust on the highway, it's 105 in the shade, and I'm just paying my dues for all the trouble I've made. I'm just paying my dues for all the trouble I've made. Paying my dues for all the trouble I've made.
Thank you. Here's a song that Terry wrote. Yes, how many of you think you know how many elements there are in the universe? Well, okay, but there's another one that probably you haven't thought about ever. Dust. You know, it's never created or destroyed, it only moves around. Dust.
Dust.
Disgusting dust.
Dust.
Born of hair and paper bits and body rust. Oxidizing, oxidation, generating ruination. The certainty of entropy is certainly not lost on me. Dust.
Dust.
Disgusting dust.
Dust.
Byproduct of petroleum and wanderlust. The more I settle in, the more it settles in on me. I've got a home 'cause I must, but dang that infernal dust. Dust.
Dust.
Disgusting dust.
Dust.
Adapting way more quickly than I can adjust. Roaming and proliferating, cloning and conglomerating, moving on to every space, just like it thinks it owns the place. Dust.
Dust.
Disgusting dust.
Dust.
Floating down relentlessly in boom or bust. The sooner I sweep it out, the sooner it sweeps in. Oh, I pray that it won't combust. Confound this cussed dust. Oh, okay, thank you. I wasn't sure he was done yet. I'm still not sure he's done yet. Sometimes I just have to start. Dust.
Dust.
Disgusting dust.
Dust.
Grown so high and wide, it's finally formed a crust. Coats and caps and clustered clumps, piles and hillocks, heaps and humps. One disinclined to clean observes that what it covers, it preserves. Dust.
Dust.
Disgusting dust.
Dust.
Rains alike on both the unjust and the just. If my energy won't give out, I swear I won't give in. I'll be resolute and robust, not spineless or nonplussed. In vacuuming we trust. Take that, you dastardly dust! Thank you. Can you tell I really hate dust? Of course, then my wife asks me why I don't vacuum more often.
Paul's wife made a really good comment about that. She said, you know, we come from dust, we return to dust. You don't dust, but it might be somebody you know.
Okay.
So I'd like to introduce another instrument to you. This is called an Irish bouzouki. You may be familiar with Greek bouzouki's.
Zorba the Greek and songs like that. They were adopted. This is slightly different. The Greek bouzouki's have a rounded back and an arched top and 6 strings, and this has 8. And this was adopted by the Irish back in about 1966, and I mean really adopted. So it's now called the Irish bouzouki. And I wrote this song about it, not about it. I got inspired to write this song about the 49ers, not the football game, the football team.
Football team, yeah, San Francisco. You know, that's why they're called the 49ers.
Oh, anyway, back in the 1849, there were a whole bunch of people that went out west, came out here looking for gold. You know, they got on the Oregon Trail, and there was a sign that pointed Oregon to the right, and to the left it had a chunk of gold, and people that could read came to Oregon. Anyway, I started writing the song originally about the Donner Party, but I decided to change it. It's not at all about the Donner Party.
We know enough about the Donner Party. Quite. Thank you very much.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I schoonered across the prairies with my horses and my kin. Conestoga rolled along, our worldly wealth within. Sutter's Mill had gold enough to make your senses spin. We were headed there to take our share when the mountain did us in. I believe the lure of gold so strong it's got to be a sin. Wise men turn the other way, but the fool falls right in. It was early in October when we reached that mountain pass. The coldest day of travel, the storm was rising fast. My little girl was crying, for a pain was in her chest. The horse's feet were dragging, so we stopped to take a rest. We finished with our supper when the snow began to fall. Cold wind blew so bitter we were scared to move at all. So I stoked the fire, we settled down, the snow came piling round. When the morning light shone through the pines, there was 4 feet on the ground. I believe the lure of gold so strong it's got to be a sin. Wise men turn the other way, but the fool falls right in. Well, our food ran low as we waited there, praying for our lives. My daughter, she grew silent, so did my wife. By the time the snow had melted, we were weary to the bone. My wife and daughter had had enough, they left and headed home. Well, I struck out in the goldfields. I lost the ones I loved. I miss my wife and child so much, the pain has made me numb. But I can't go back, I found no gold, she found another man. I curse that early winter storm that ripped me from my kin. In the end, it was a lure of gold, it was greed that did me in. Wise men turned the other way, like a fool I fell right in. I believe the lure of gold so strong it's got to be a sin. Wise men turn the other way, but the fool falls right in. Wise men turn the other way, but the fool falls right in. Now here's one that Carrie wrote, and this was written based on an apparition.
Well, I was at the Fiddle Festival in Weezer with members of my extended family, and suddenly, in the middle of, like, right in front of me, about 6 feet away, passed this woman who was wearing a full-length gown of some weird material and a crown. And after she had gone by, I looked over at my brother-in-law and said, "Did you see her?" He said, "Who? What?" I thought, oh, well, maybe I better write a song about this and exorcise this particular demon.
She waits and she watches while we're walking to the mine. Every morning without fail, when rain or shine, her eyes always find me wherever I might be. She never says a word, she just stands and stares at me. Mystery maiden, standing by the road, as out of place here as a diamond necklace on a toad. Where does she come from? Where does she stay? And why does she look at me that way? Each day I go back underground, I worry for my life, while no one waits at home for me to ease my strain and strife. The gas and the cave-ins claim so many men. I always go in wondering if I'll see the sky again. Oh, mystery maiden, could she be a spy? If she heard us talking Union, would she testify? Why does she come here? Why does she stay? And why does she look at me that way? Long black gown, glittering crown, and a face so very fair, I can't believe that I'm the only one who sees her there. My buddies say I'm seeing things, but quickly look away, and I'm left to ponder what it is that no one wants to say. Whenever I look into her eyes, she smiles a little more, but there's also something in her face that wasn't there before. At week's end, if I walk out still home, hale and free, I swear I'll ask that maiden if she please will marry me. Oh, mystery maiden, please love me or leave. Don't be so keen to see me if you're not prepared to grieve. Where do you come from? Why do you stay? And why do you look at me that way? Mystery maiden, won't she leave her lonely haunt? It's hard to think this miner's life is anything you want. Where does she come from? Where does she stay? And why does she look at me that way? Where does she come from? Why does she stay? And why does she look at me that way?
Thank you. Now we have another song that I wrote about an egotist. In fact, it's your favorite egotist. I bet you didn't know you had one. Well, in fact, this song is kind of like the Valentine I hope you never get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, hi, hello there, it's your favorite egotist. Of all the friends you've got, I just can't help but top your list. You haven't been in touch, so you don't know just what you've missed. So here's a gratuitous greeting from your favorite egotist. I trust you're not avoiding me, and it's just that you're so shy. If you feel you may be a fool for me, it's easy to see why. Though your road has led you away from me, I'm too hard to forget. I'm sure that you would ever, I'm like nobody you've ever met. So hey, hi, hello there, it's your favorite egotist. I can't leave you alone, so don't pretend I don't exist. I'd be surprised to not find my name tattooed on your wrist. So here's a hearty heads up from your favorite egotist. Yes, I've got lots of admirers, but you're surely my biggest fan. And in no event would I be content to be an also-ran. I'd bet you feign your indifference, I can tell how much you care. And I just know that wherever you go, you'll wish that I was there. So hey, hi, hello there, it's your favorite egotist. With so much going for me, tell me how can you resist? I suppose there are those who swear I'm an unrepentant narcissist. But here's a shameless shout out from your favorite egotist. When I look in the mirror, tell me who do I always see? I'm the one I know best, so it's hard to contest that it really is all about me. That you might have another preference, I just really can't concede. You may not know just what you want, but I'm all you'll ever need. So hey, hi, hello there, it's your favorite egotist. Though you claim to want no part of me, I really must insist. I can't believe you slapped me with an order to cease and desist. So here's a forlorn farewell from your former favorite egotist. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, gonna leave that persona behind. Yes, and go across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, we I guess fairly recently fallen in love with Irish music, although that song was kind of
That's kind of Irish.
Yeah, it's kind of Irish. But we're going to do
a guy
this.
from Portland, though.
This is the first one we can't claim as original.
We don't know who wrote this.
Therefore, we don't have to pay royalties because.
Two. 1, 2, 3. Near Banbridge Town, in the county down, one morning last July, down a ballroom green come a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a winsome elf, had to pinch myself to be sure she was truly there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry's Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, sure I turned me head, and I looked with a feeling rare. So I says I, to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? He looked at me and he said, says he, that's the gem of Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry's Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down.
at the harvest fair. She'll be surely there, and I'll dress in my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright and my hat cocked right, for a smile from my nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plow is a rust-colored brown. And a smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry's Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down. Thank you.
We're going to switch things around a little bit. We don't have enough instruments up here. So
Could you
we
give me
gotta
a little
share.
more of my violin in my ear, please?
Careful what you ask for. country cooking and homemade wine.
Hey, hey, pass that jug around.
Sitting in the kitchen making up songs, telling tall tales till the break of dawn, singing
Hey, hey, pass that jug around. With a fiddle and a jug and a washtub bass, couple guitars, we could rock this place. Bluegrass, Cajun, folk or swing, country blues, if that's your thing. I don't care what tomorrow brings, as long as I got my chance to sing. Hey, hey, pass that jug around.
when the cow's in the meadow and the corn is tall, we'll press apple cider and drink it all.
Hey, hey, pass that jug around.
And when the winter storms and the nights are long, we'll huddle by the fireplace singing our song, singing
Hey, hey, pass that jug around. With a fiddle and a jug and a washed-up bass, couple guitars, we could rock this place. Bluegrass, Cajun, folk or swing, country blues, if that's your thing. I don't care what tomorrow brings, as long as I got my chance to sing. Hey, hey, pass that jug around.
when I'm rambling round like a tumbleweed, a little live music is all I need.
Hey, hey, pass that jug around.
'Cause all I want in this life of mine is a little less worry and a little more time singing
Hey, hey, pass that jug around. With a fiddle and a jug and a washed-up bass, couple guitars, we could rock this place. Bluegrass, Cajun, folk or swing, country blues, if that's your thing. I don't care what tomorrow brings, as long as I got my chance to sing. Hey, hey, pass that jug around. Hey, hey, pass that jug around.
Hey, hey.
Pass that jug around.
Thank you.
This next song is another strange extrapolation, which, yeah, I'm responsible for it. I might as well admit it now. But I've long been a Procol Harum fan, and there was at one point on the Procol Harum website, the fan website, people were putting together songs, Procol Harum songs, and arranging them in completely different ways. And so I thought I'd try my hand at one called The Devil Came from Kansas. Well, I never made it onto the fan CD that was going to happen as a consequence of that, because I changed some words, and Keith Reed didn't like them. So anyway, we're going to do it tonight.
The way we want to.
Yes. 1, 2, 3. The devil came from Kansas, where he went to I can't say. Though I teach, I'm not a preacher, and I aim to stay that way. There's a monkey riding on my back, been there for some time. He says he knows me very well, but he's no friend of mine. I am not a humble pilgrim, there is no need to scrape and squeeze. I don't beg for special favors, you won't find me on my knees. The devil came from Kansas, where he went to I can't say. Oh, if you really are my brother, then you'd better start to pray for the sins of those departed and the ones about to go. There's a dark cloud just above us, don't tell me 'cause I know. I am not a humble pilgrim, there is no need to scrape and squeeze. I don't beg for special favors. You won't find me on my knees. I am not a humble pilgrim. There is no need to scrape and squeeze. I don't beg for special favors. You won't find me on my knees. No, I never came from Kansas. Don't forget to thank the cook. Which reminds me of my duty. I was lost and now I look for the turning and the signpost and the road which takes you down to that pool inside a forest in whose waters I shall drown. I'm not a humble pilgrim. There is no need to scrape and squeeze. I don't beg for special favors. You won't find me on my knees.
Thank you. I asked if he's ready, and I could have looked over at you knowing the answer was no. What's that? Okay. I've traveled o'er this country wide to seek my fortune fair. Up and down two coastlines I've traveled everywhere. From Portland east to Portland west and back across the line. I'm going back to the place that's best, that old hometown of mine.
8 more miles and Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart.
There's sure to be a gal somewhere that you'd like best of all. Now mine lives down in Louisville, she's long and she is tall. Well, she's the kind that you can't find traveling through the land. I'm on my way this very day to win her heart and hand.
8 more miles and Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart.
Now I can picture in my mind a place we'll call our home. A humble little spot for two we'll never want to roam. The place that's right for that love side is in those bluegrass hills, where gently flows the Ohio, a place called Louisville. 8 more miles and Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, I'll never more be blue.
I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart.
8 more miles and Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road and I'll never more be blue. I knew someday that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, hometown of my heart. Thank you. Now we're going to have whiskey before breakfast. Now, actually, has anybody here ever had whiskey before breakfast? Oh, okay.
Oh, I used to, actually. You know.
I see. You got to get warm in the morning, right?
You want to count it? Hang on, I forgot. This isn't. My other bouzouki has a pickup on it. This has to be mic'd. Just standing back there thinking, oh, this is great, isn't it? Nobody can hear it. All right, let's try again. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you. Next tune was written by our former drummer. You notice all of our drummers are former drummers. This was written by Marty Henninger.
My best days may be past, but I don't want them back. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me, I don't worry about growing old or feeling weary in my bones. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me. They say time acts like a river to wash away your blues. Well, I've gotten so clean in its endless stream, I'm practically brand new. Yeah, my best days may be past, but I don't want them back. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me, I don't worry about growing old or feeling weary in my bones. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me. So you think you've lost your good times, 'cause life has gotten tough. Well, if you don't know that they come and go, you ain't lived long enough. Yeah, my best days may be past, but I don't want them back. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me, I don't worry about growing old or feeling weary in my bones. As long as I can feel this fire inside of me. As long as I can feel this fire inside of me. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me. Long as I can feel this fire inside of me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We are going to take a short break right now. It's a good time to get some refreshments and maybe some whatever they've got over there. Anyway, we'll be back in just a few minutes. faced our eternal muse. Took a break from the endless road while our golden families grew. But when the music beckoned, we had no other choice. Forever bound together by instrument and voice. So here's to all the sights we've seen and all the songs we've sung. Here's to all the friends we found and all the days to come. The wave we rode in the early days may never rise again. But echoes of those bygone times rumble now and then. Like distant thunder, it keeps us under our gentle siren spell. Though older now, we know somehow we'll never say farewell. So here's to all the sights we've seen and all the songs we've sung. Here's to all the friends we found and all the days to come. Yeah, here's to all the sights we've seen and all the songs we've sung. Here's to all the friends we found and all the days to come. For when the music beckons,
We have no other choice.
forever bound together by instrument and voice. Let's see if it's still in tune. Not in tune, but I think it's okay. I think it's all right. How did that happen? Okay. Hey, stuff happens. All right.
One, two, three, four.
I read red. It's peeking into the danger zone. We shall pay all debts in full, I swear, and soon. Wash my white, please make it clean again for good. All our history stained so deep, we share what comes. Colors of the world split in bad weather. Colors of the world all run together. Colors of the world can't last last forever. Colors of the world, three here together. Loveless green, I inherit the pain my luck has cost. The father's sins haunt the children's life. We lose, they bad, bitter ghosts. Colors of the world, split in bad weather. Colors of the world, all run together. Colors of the world, can't last forever. Colors of the world, three here together. Rainbow blue, your light comfort the mournful sky. When sunshine through the lifting mist, the storm is done. Colors of the world, split in bad weather. Colors of the world, all run together. Colors of the world, can't last forever. Colors of the world. Thank you.
That was one of Carrie's. And this next one is also one of Carrie's. And I gave Paul the choice of whether he wanted to play violin or keyboards on this, and you can see what his choice is. This song was inspired by his oldest child.
Yeah, well, my only child, so far as I know.
His youngest child, too. Don't take 23andMe. You might find out some things, like Paul did.
We won't go there.
1, 2, 1, 2. You say you can't remember what we like together. I'm way ahead of you. You say we're not so much like birds of a feather. I'm way ahead of you. You say you're sometimes surprised that we even get along. I'm way ahead of you. You say you want it to be right, but is too much already wrong. I'm way ahead of you. I'm way ahead of you is all that I could say. And so instead of you, I have myself to myself today. Say you're not sure how to act when you're beside me.
I'm way ahead of you. You say you know we made a vow, and not just idly, I'm way ahead of you. You say you don't know what you'd do if I walked out, I'm way ahead of you. You say you wonder how you'd live with all the doubt, I'm way ahead of you. I'm way ahead of you, it hurts so hard to say. And now instead of you, I have myself to myself today. You'll say you'll always wonder what if things were different, I'm way ahead of you. But if things were all that different, would I have found you? Thank you.
Oh, keeping in the country vein.
Kind of.
Here's a serious song.
How
Okay.
serious?
Not too.
Oh.
I co-wrote this with my wife, who's out there in streaming land. Hi, Kathy. There's a song called Buckle of Gold, and it's based on a true story. Never
I
mind.
hope not.
That's not one of them happened to him.
I sincerely hope not.
I'm a good-looking, middle-aged cowboy,
Modest too.
riding the range in my mind,
Oh, what mine?
bucking a bronco or roping a steer.
Wow.
I can't do either, but I don't care. I
Figures.
got rattlesnake boots and a Stetson,
I'm impressed.
10 gallons each, I've been told.
Not so much.
The one thing I've got that others have not is a belt buckle plated in gold. Yippee-tie-yi, yippee and tie-yi-you. Whatever that means, I haven't a clue. Yippee-tie-yi, yippee and tie-yi-you. Whatever that means, he hasn't a clue. Well, I got me a lady so fancy.
How fancy.
Well, the sight of her fills me with awe.
Aww.
Collagen lips, cowgirl hips, a 10-gallon chest in a 5-gallon bra. Now my girlfriend and I were a-dancing late on a Saturday night. Her bra strap went pop, and down came her top. Some sailors saw that, and they wanted to fight. Yippee-tie-yi, yippee, and tie-yi-yay. I knew in a flash it wasn't my day. He knew in a flash it wasn't his day. I swung with my hat, but I missed him.
Oh, darn.
I swung with my fist, and it hurt.
Ow.
I knew I was in for a blow to the chin. Outnumbered by 5, well, the outlook was grim. So I kicked with my boots, but I lost them.
Oh no!
As over the bar I was rolled. The end seemed so near that I cowered in fear when my hand found my buckle of gold. Yippee-tie-yi, yippee and tie-yi-yo. I'm feeling my oats and my buckle of gold. Yippee-tie-yi, yippee and tie-yi-yo. He's feeling his oats and his buckle of gold. Well, I whipped off my belt in a frenzy.
Take that!
Like a lasso, I swung it and cried. Yippee-tie-yi, yippee, get away from my gal, or you'll feel the sting of my buckle from hell. In a moment, the battle was over. As they scrambled outside in the cold,
I'm getting out of here.
To this day on the seas they still sing to the breeze, beware of that buckle of gold. Yippee-tie-yi this, yippee-tie-yi that, got my buckle, my boots, my gal and my hat. Yippee-tie-yi this, yippee-tie-yi that, got his buckle, his boots, his gal and his hat. Got his buckle, his boots, his gal and his hat. Thank you.
One, two, three, four. I think I must have misplaced myself somewhere some time ago. I asked everyone if they'd seen me, but nobody seemed to know. I swear I've never ever been in such a crazy jam, because nobody knows where I am. I've been town to town from week to week, trying hard to sing, spending my time in my home away from home. I get manic as anything, and down in some dim dingy dive I left me on the lam, and now nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows where I am. I can't understand how this could happen to me. I'm a paying and a playing, just trying to be free. But who'd have thought living on pizza and beer would make me wander off and just disappear, make him wander off and just disappear. Get loose and play away the hours of the night, caught up in the rhythms and feeling alright. But late when things were loosest and no one could tell, I guess I must have played away myself as well. I guess he must have played away himself as well. Now and then I catch a clue as to my whereabouts, but regarding me recovering myself intact, I kinda got my doubts. I sure would be relieved to know I wasn't just a sham, because nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows where I am. Thank you. Thank you. Paul wrote that.
We had much higher ambitions than we had time for tonight. We've got quite a few more songs to do. We're going to have to scratch a few from what we wanted to do because really out of deference to the Milan, who's doing a great job, by the way. Thank you very much. She's on the sound tonight.
And Gary's on video and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So what are we doing? Race. So I wrote this song a few years ago. I started to write a song about global warming, and I started getting really depressed. I thought, well, I got to do something about it. I still want to write a song about global warming. So what I did was I turned it around, and this is a song about global warming and how you can profit from it. If the sounds of birds are your delight, step outside in the early light as the morning spreads its misty wings. The birds announce an early spring. We'll have robins, robins, sooner in the spring, later in the fall, higher up the mountains, closer to the poles. So rev those engines, burn that coal, it's a race to the bottom line. Short-term profit is our goal when the climate spins out of control. We'll have more oil, we'll have more gold in the race to the bottom line. The Northwest Passage opened up today as the ice cap melted all away, and offshore oil rigs are on display at the new resorts in Prudhoe Bay. You can still see polar bears in carnival shows. They look so real you'd never know. They went extinct 10 years ago in the race to the bottom line. Yeah, but I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. No, I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. Grab your profits, that's your mission. Pull the strings of politicians if you want to win. Control the spin, pretend consensus isn't in. If global warming's here to stay, we'll find a way to make it pay. Who needs the future anyway in the race to the bottom line? Yeah, I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. No, I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. If disaster shows are your delight, watch the news most any night. Famines, drought, torrential rains, tornadoes, floods, and hurricanes, and wildfires. Sooner in the spring, later in the fall, higher up the mountains, closer to the poles. So rev those engines, burn that coal, it's a race to the bottom line. Short-term profit is our goal when the climate spins out of control. We'll have more oil, we'll have more gold in the race to the bottom line. And when New Orleans and the Keys are at the bottom of the sea, scuba gear will let you see their houses and their factories. And think of all the jobs galore, building seafront condos and so much more on Oklahoma's ocean shore in the race to the bottom line. Yeah, I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. Sing along, everybody. I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. One more time. I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line. No, I don't care, I'm doing fine in the race to the bottom line.
Okay, enough of the cynicism. This next song is, well, it's based on several true stories that have been concatenated to make narrative sense. It's also told in 2 different languages.
Harmonica and guitar.
You're right. Harmonica and guitar.
Those are 2 languages, right?
Those are 2 languages, yeah.
Yeah, no,
But he also sings in French and English.
that's right.
So those 2 languages
Safely.
as well.
Down in New Orleans where they laissez les bon temps rouler, I played in a bar on Bourbon, slept in my old Chevrolet. I was poor even when I got paid by the clubs in La View Carré, and I drank my share of bourbon, fell in love most every day. They say life in New Orleans is easy, love just a heartbeat away. Even when I'm alone, it still calls me back home, back to La View Carré. Well, I met an aspiring young artist. She lived in a loft down on Charters. I started to plan to ask for her hand. The first step is always the hardest. She asked and I said what my sign was. Quel dommage, she replied, quel dommage. If you were born a Capricorn, you could park in my garage. They say life in New Orleans is easy, love just a heartbeat away. Even when I'm alone, it still calls me back home, back to La View Carré. Well, I still hope to win her heart, though this wasn't the very best start. On peut dire que le cœur est mystérieux, romance is an inexact art, and I did what I could to support her as the long summer days grew shorter. Sans beaucoup d'argent, my fortune ran out, had to move out of the French Quarter. You could say, perhaps I was blinded by her fame that grew faster than mine did. L'envie est toujours envie, bien sûr, as I am so often reminded. I was sad that I couldn't stay, bid adieu as I drove away, and I watched from afar as she rose like a star. Son ange, je l'ai oublié. They say life in New Orleans is easy, love just a heartbeat away. Even when I'm alone, it still calls me back home, back to La View Carré. Even though I'm alone, it still calls me back home. Laissez les bons temps brûler.
Thank you.
Well, it's time to save the whales. This is a sing-along. This starts with the chorus, and I'd really love it if y'all would sing along. And we repeat the chorus a number of times. I wrote this song in the mid-'70s when everybody was trying to save the whales, so I was one of them. And I'm happy to say there's still whales around, so it worked. So, as I said, first, it starts with a chorus, and so listen up. If you already know it, you can start singing along right away. It goes like this. Roll back the years, roll back the years. With what we know now, it'd be different somehow if we could roll back the years. When man first gazed upon the sea, it went to the end of his world. Beyond its edge lay only dreams, till mankind's sail unfurled. A cautious step into the waves as the four winds filled his sail. exploring new lands one by one, sharing waters with the whale. Roll back the years, roll back the years. With what we know now, it'd be different somehow if we could roll back the years. The sailors came from northern lands to plunder the ocean's gold. The whale was so very big, a wonder to behold. For many years the slaughter ran, set a legend to its grave. History calls it the power of greed, their own time called it brave. Roll back the years, roll back the years. With what we know now, it'd be different somehow if we could roll back the years. A lonely whale swims the deep, searching for her mate, the sole survivor of her breed, learning of her fate. North to south she vainly seeks, till she herself is gone, living only for our children now, in fable and in song. Roll back the years, roll back the years. With what we know now, it'd be different somehow if we could roll back the years. Roll back the years, roll back the years. With what we know now, it'd be different somehow if we could roll back the years. Roll back the years, roll back the years. With what we know now, it'd be different somehow if we could roll back the years.
Thank you.
We have no time left, but we're going to do two more songs anyway.
This next song is an Irish song written by a guy from Tennessee. But it has been adopted by the people of Ireland as a bona fide Irish song.
Verify that I'm still in tune. Give me a second to make sure I'm still in tune.
I may have to tune the bouzouki.
Not as bad as tuning a banjo.
I think that D is pretty flat. There you go.
Well, I took a stroll down the old long walk on the I met a pretty girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. Said I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill prom with a Galway girl. halfway there when the rain came down on a day. So she asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day. And I ask you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. So I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. I woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. So I ask you now, tell me what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? Well, I've traveled around, I've been all over this world. I ain't never seen nothing like a Galway girl. So I ask you now, tell me what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? Well, I've traveled around, I've been all over this world. I ain't never seen nothing like a Galway girl.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. Will has to put on his portable accordion.
It's a disguise.
Right.
This is actually an accordion, but since accordions don't get any respect, I disguise it as a harmonica.
I'm not sure harmonicas get that much more respect either.
I'm having that kind of night, aren't I?
Actually, harmonicas are one of those instruments that used to be far too cheap. Right in there with hand drums and tambourines.
Finger cymbals, too.
Yeah, well, not that many people try finger cymbals. But they see a tambourine and they go, hey, I can play that. No, you can't. Or rather, you may not.
I'm going to Louisiana, yes, I'm headed on down. Can't get enough of that Cajun sound. Spent too long just hanging around this crazy town I'm bayou bound. Well, it's been a long time and I want to go back. Gonna take me a train down that eastbound track. Cross the Rockies and I'll head down south, down the Mississippi to the river's mouth. Look out the window at the countryside. Might stop at St. Louis for a steamboat ride, but I won't stay long 'cause I gotta get down to the Cajun country. Now I'm bayou bound.
I'm going to Louisiana, yes, I'm headed on down. Can't get enough of that Cajun sound. Spent too long just hanging around this crazy town. Now I'm bayou bound.
Well, last time down there decided to cruise on the crooked back roads. I had nothing to lose. Riding on the motorcycle, thought I was lost in the cypress swamps and the Spanish moss. The decided to stop. I was going slow and I saw an alligator by the side of the road. So I sped back up, turned my bike around, and finally found my way on back to the ground. On the chapel, I had a campfire cold with a bale of armadillos in a pinewood grove. Caught a couple of catfish, cooked them on a grill. Red beans and rice, we had our fill. Pulled out a guitar, a fiddle and a bowl, and we played up a storm till the fire burned low. Then we took a little nap and we headed into town. Catch Cajun music down my bayou bound. I'm going to Louisiana, yes, I'm headed on down. Can't get enough of that Cajun sound. Spent too long just hanging around this crazy town. Now I'm bayou bound. I'm going to Louisiana, yes, I'm headed on down. Can't get enough of that Cajun sound. Spent too long just hanging around this crazy town. Now I'm bayou bound.
Thank you.
All right. Well, all good things must come to an end. Really, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We've had a great
Yes,
time. I
thank
hope you all have enjoyed yourself. Thank you. We do have CDs for sale. They're back on the table by the door. We also have Wheatfield albums if you're interested. We actually have vinyl if anybody's interested in that. If anybody still has a record player.
I do.
I do too. It's,
But I was the one who brought the records.
yeah, well, my record player is under a stack of books. But anyway, that's nothing. This song isn't on that. This is a song that Carrie wrote, and it goes like this.
1, 2, 3, 4. The rocket's gonna be here in only about an hour. I won't bother shaving, but I know I'd better shower. Can't take nothing extra, but be careful what you pack. 'Cause where we're headed now, we can't buy what we lack. Honey, better get yourself ready real soon, or we're gonna wind up missing our ride to the moon. Don't you think it's bound to be a heavenly flight? Gazing back at Earth in the early evening light. Dark side, a bright side, or somewhere in between. We'll hike out on a landscape like nowhere we've ever been. No matter if the dishes run away with the spoon, you and I are gonna have us a ride to the moon. Ride to the moon. How often do you get to take a ride to the moon? No road trip I can think of like a ride to the moon. Can't float in a balloon. You gotta take a rocket for a ride to the moon. There's no atmosphere, so we can't fly a kite, but we can have a ball jumping 3 times our height. Keep one eye on the sky and the other on the rover, so we're all set to scoot if that old cow passes over. No shortage of adventure from our flying cocoon. Let's gear up all our senses for a ride to the moon. Yee-hee. Ride to the moon, no video could ever top a ride to the moon. We'll miss all the traffic on a ride to the moon. Blast off this afternoon with optimum momentum on a ride to the moon. Ride to the moon, we can't forget the camera on our ride to the moon. We'll probably never have another ride to the moon. The time is opportune. Oh, won't you join me, honey, on a ride to the moon? Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're going to do one more. This is a sing along. This is one where you want to put your arm around the next person next to you, even if you don't know them.
This will give you a chance to slow down.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I have the great notion to jump in the water and drown. Irene, good night. Sing along, everybody. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
Stop rambling and stop gambling. Don't stay out late at night. Go home to your partner and family and gaze at the firelight bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene.
I'll see you in my dreams.
Sometimes she sleeps in pajamas. Sometimes she sleeps in a gown. But when it's all out in the laundry, Irene is the talk of the town.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene.
I'll see you in my dreams. Once more with feeling, everybody. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
And thanks, Artichoke. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much.